have the hardest time getting my intro music to play. Good evening, everybody, and welcome to another episode of Let's Talk Destiny. I'm excited tonight to have a wonderful guest tonight. I mean, she is the epitome of grace and kindness and generosity, and I'm just like really grateful to have connected with her. And I think that after our conversation tonight, you will understand exactly why I say what I say. Um, Also, I wanted to tell you, Carolyn, if you want to, you're free to feel free to share the video
Okay.
to your personal page as well while we're talking.
Okay.
All right, so tonight I am bringing to you all Ms. Carolyn Nekola. Is that pronounced right?
It's perfect. That's perfect. Yeah.
Okay,
Hi guys.
awesome.
This is my first
And
podcast
Carolyn
ever.
is the and And Carolyn is the creative and art director of C. Nicola Designs. And I think I've met a lot of graphic designers, and I still, because of what I do, I meet a lot of people. But there are very few people who can just hear what you say and hear your heart
Mm.
and design something for you like the very first time out the gate. And Carolyn did that for me. So before we get into the conversation, I want to welcome you to the platform and thank you so much for joining me tonight.
Thank you so much. I was really excited because, like I said, I've never been on a podcast. I've done a lot of like speaking and performing, but
Okay.
never have
I
done
think we
this. Did I step on you? Sorry.
awesome. Thank you so much. So tonight I want to talk to you. I want to talk to you about the special gift that you have. But before we get into that, I want everybody to know that Carolyn is a wife and a mother of three,
Mhm.
and she has a fur baby.
Yeah.
And she owns, she's an entrepreneur, all of that.
Mhm.
So she's
Mhm.
quite busy, but she's productive, not just, busy. So tell us a little bit about you before we get into our conversation about
Sure.
how we met and stuff like that. Tell us a little about Carolyn. What are some of your hobbies? What do you like to do? What makes you happy?
Oh boy, what makes me happy? Um, That's a great question. I met you at this crazy time in my life where I'm kind of rebuilding my life after a pretty rough divorce, and it's been a lot of growth over the last 5 6 years, um, and I have learned so much as far as what I'd like to do. Number one, I'm an artist, and I'm trying to get back into that. I've been a painter, I've been a singer, a lot of my life, and of course, obviously, as Jamie said, I'm a mother, and so my kids bring me a lot of joy. I got remarried in December, and to someone amazing, and him and I love to do almost all the same things, and so we spend a lot of time having a lot of fun together, and just enjoying our new family together and everything. So that's kind of a really small summary of where I am and who I am in this life right now. But definitely an artist, a singer. But I really feel like life is kind of remaking me right now in a lot of ways. So that's why that question kind of threw me. Usually I have a quick answer. Hmm.
That's all right. And it's funny because I talk often about Let's Talk Destiny
Hmm.
podcast is a purpose-driven format. And so I'm
Hmm.
very into talking about people's purpose and why they believe they're here and what it is that they're doing. And one of the things I know about the life journey is that it always brings us opportunities to change and to grow.
Yes.
There are ebbs and flows with this thing.
Mhm.
And so it is important for us to embrace those times. And that's one of the things that I'm loving as I communicate with you
Mhm.
is that though you acknowledge that there's been some major changes, some things you're still trying to figure out, but
Mhm.
you're going with the flow. And
Yes.
that encourages me watching you doing that. Okay,
Yeah.
so tell me also, how did you get into graphic designs? How did you choose to get into designing other people's visuals?
That's a great question. So I was in art school, and but then when I moved, and I moved to another state, moved to New Jersey here, and I had to work as a cashier actually, and not like I had to work at a cashier, but I had a great job at a little store. But basically, I got into marketing through being a cashier, worked all my way up, all the way up to
Okay.
doing the store's marketing. And that's where I realized, oh, graphics. And I had never really done that stuff. I'm a painter, drawing, all that stuff, but I was able to use my eye to make little ads and little, flyers for the business, and decided to continue my schooling with graphic design. And I always thought I would hate it, but I ended up loving the digital format and loving how fast you could put stuff together and get the word out in a business. And I was pretty successful with it. I was able to kind of mesh together my illustrations and my artwork with the digital format and use that for businesses and get the word out. And so that's kind of how I got into it. And I really have grown to love it.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So awesome. So how long have you actually been in business doing it?
Mm. For myself, I started my business in June. So this was kind of born out of a issue, as most things are.
Okay.
I worked my way up through, working at the stores and
Right.
everything, and being creative director. And then I started working in the automotive industry with car dealerships. And I was part of a really great local business, but there was
Yeah.
some change in hands and stuff. And anyway, I got laid off in January, and it was a huge disappointment. At first, I didn't think it was going to be. I saw it as an opportunity to, here we go. I can, get an even bigger position, because I was at a point where I was finally in my life stable financially and feeling good, and I could pay my bills, and I
Yeah.
was getting out of debt, and I got remarried, and everything was fantastic. And then I thought, okay, well, maybe this is opportunity. Well, I applied for over 500 jobs between January and probably July. And I got 2 interviews and not a single bite. And I was super discouraged. So I started my business to try to see
Yeah.
if I could get some freelance clients. Got a few, but really the success just has not been there. And I just feel like, and it's easy just to feel like a failure. And so I just felt down about it for a while. And I kept trying to get clients and trying to get clients. And then I spoke with a business coach, and he kept asking me, well, who's your client? Who are you trying to attract? And he kept pushing me. And I was like, oh, I don't know. I don't know. And he's like, who do you want to work with? And I'm like, I guess if I had to work
Yeah.
with anyone, I'd work with nonprofits. And he's, so why aren't you doing that? And I'm like, I don't know. Like, I don't know where to start. I don't know anybody. And, you know,
Right.
so I just decided, I knew I had to change everything, but I wasn't sure what to do first. And then I was in this meeting on Alignable. Alignable is a networking website where you can go and kind of like do
Yes.
these quick little video chats with other business owners. And they were coming in, and I was getting matched up with different people, and it was okay. But there was this person down in the chat room that kept catching my eye. And it was, whoop, this person right here. It was Jamie. And I saw what she did, and the summary of her, of A Mother's Cry just hit me in the gut. And I kind of looked around and poked around in social media to see, what was going on. And I just felt like I need to reach out to her. I didn't even know why or what I was going to say when I got to her. I had no idea. What am I going to offer them? What am I going to do? And we had this great conversation over Zoom, I think, right?
Yeah.
And I just, in my gut, I said, this is what I want to do. And I don't know how,
Yes. Mhm.
and I don't know what to do. And I don't know, and it just felt like it was the right thing to do, to come alongside you and say, what do you need? Now, in the middle of all this failure and this hard year, I actually
Yes.
started massage school with my husband, because he wanted to go back and be a massage therapist, and I did it with him. So I had this big chunk of my time taken out. So I'm a full-time massage student also, because we're going to maybe start a business together when we graduate. But I'm going to keep being, a graphic designer. But my time took an impact. My health is
Yeah.
always a struggle for me as well. So, like, what do I do? What do I have to offer the world? And so this gave me purpose. And I was just telling Jamie before we hopped on the call that I felt like that for the first time all year, and maybe in years, that I felt like, yes, like this is it. Like, more of this, just keep
Wow.
going, more of this, keep making these connections, these heart connections. And because I just get this feeling like when I I don't know, when
Yes.
I first did some work for you, I just had this overflowing, like this feeling in my chest of like being flooded with something. I think, like I used to say, I've kind of gotten away from church a little bit, but yet at the same time, I still have that spirit in me. And it's definitely like when you feel like Holy Spirit, like
Yeah.
flooding you, telling you, yes, this is it type thing. And so it's been a long
This
time
is
since I've
it.
had
Hmm.
inspiration. And Jamie's super patient with me because I don't have a lot of time. And I'm also figuring out some
Yes.
things like websites and
Yes.
different things. And so she's being as patient with me as anybody, if I could ask of anybody. And it's just brought me so much joy. Even just to do the little things I've done so far. I've hardly finished any of the projects, but I'm so excited to be a part of what she's trying to do for this world. And it helps me. I mean, I also want to learn about people whose lives are different than mine. And this is like a huge chunk of that for me. So hopefully it's okay,
Yeah.
Jamie, and I just launched into that.
And yeah, and it's okay because I was talking to someone earlier today about divine connections.
Mm-hmm.
And no matter where you are spiritually, whatever you believe,
Mm-hmm.
I think that most people believe that there is a power greater than the
Of
human
course.
beings.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yeah.
sometimes it's amazing to me how people intersect at just times you don't even expect it. Like I
Mm-hmm.
too was feeling overwhelmed, and
Mm-hmm.
people weren't responding and doing things that they said they were going to do to help a mother's cry, so forth and so on. And
Mm-hmm.
so my sister actually is the one that sent me a link to try Alignable.
Oh
So I
yeah.
wasn't even going to try it because I'm like, this is one more thing that, one more people that's going to be sending me emails. So, but I did. And like almost immediately, I made a decision to attend that event. And Carolyn and I connected, and she reached out to me and she said, I would like to talk to you. I want to know more about a mother's cry because I
Mm-hmm.
feel in my spirit that I'm supposed to do something to help you. And I tell
Because
you, it's just been amazing. As far as the
everyone wants
timing,
to pay what's their money too. Everyone wants, like, I noticed, like, on Alignable, even like I love Alignable. It was great. It brought us together and I made some of the great connections. But even like I'm unemployed, I don't have any
yeah,
money, and I get people reaching out to me like, oh, I can help you for like $800. And I'm like, yeah, I can't pay my electrical bill. I can't
right,
do that right
right,
now. And so I just knew, like, you need help.
exactly.
And this message is way beyond, like, it needs to be said. And I remember as I watched the news and everything, um and I'll be eventually be unemployed. I was just obsessed with the news, things coming in day to day. And I just had this
Mhm.
overwhelming feeling also. It's like, God, just what do I do? Like, how do I help? There's so
Yeah,
much pain and injustice in this world. And it's just, I just don't, I don't know what I can do. Like, what can I do? Where do I start? And then this was just in my lap. And I thought, yes, okay,
yeah.
this is something I can do. This is finally something that I can do for the world. I just had to say that. I'm sorry. But yeah, that's true. It's just
That's okay.
amazing.
You don't have to apologize. That's what we're doing is talking, having a conversation about, and I remember something you said to me in one of our earlier conversations was you said it almost apologetically that you were raised pretty much privileged,
Yes.
and so you couldn't relate to a lot of the things that I was talking about, yet you felt a compassion and a stirring in your spirit to do something. And that was one of the things that also drew me to you because a lot of people will say, I can't relate to that. I don't know anything about it. That doesn't affect my life. I don't want anything to do with it. But that wasn't your response. And that, like, really forever will make you special to me because you saw a need. And I say this a lot. I thank people for hearing my heart.
Yeah.
Um, Even if I don't have the correct words to express it, people that see my heart really mean a lot to me. And you are
Yeah.
one of those people. And I want to publicly thank you for that.
Oh, thank you so much. I feel honored
So,
because
what is your vision for absolutely? Well, thank you.
thank
So,
you.
what is your vision for your designs? Like, I know you want to do. Well, you got to get make money. That was another thing I wanted to say. When Carolyn first reached out to me and connected with me, and told me that she wanted to do something for a Mother's Cry, my first response in my head was, "Oh my God, I don't have any money."
Yep.
I don't have any money. This lady, what is she talking about? I don't have any money. And she proceeded to explain to me, like she said a while ago, about wanting to do something from her heart while she's doing other things that do make money. And
Mhm.
how did you come to that when you realized that um, this is not going to be about the finances?
Yeah.
This is not going to make me rich. How did you decide, yes, but I'm still going to do it anyway?
I just well, for you in particular, like I figured, well, I just had to. I don't even know. There
Yeah,
was no choice there. And I was never, because I didn't, and I was worried that you were gonna, I was worried because I had been scammed so many times and had so many people, they'll start out, they want to talk to you, and then they'll do this, and then comes the pitch. And I thought, that's the last
right.
thing that that she needs right now. And so how does it fit into my vision? I keep joking with my husband. I'm really, like I feel like I don't
Yeah,
know how it's going to work. I keep talking to people, and right now I'm trying to figure out and learn more about nonprofits and the world of nonprofits. I've spoken to other couple of people that do similar things that I would want to do, that they work exclusively with nonprofits. But usually they're looking for bigger nonprofits that have budget, that marketing budget that they can work with. So they're not getting rich, but they are getting paid. And so I am looking
yeah,
for those opportunities. I'm still understanding how to find that and how to ask for that. And so, like creating this partnership with you though
yes,
is great, because in a lot of ways, because not only do I get to work on something where my heart is, because this issue, the a Mother's Cry, the mass incarceration is something that's super heavy on my heart. I am trying to learn about it. Um, and I just felt like that this was
yes,
a great thing that you and I can do for each other. I can grow as a person. I can grow in my skills as well. And then in the future, when I meet other people, I can, do the same kind of thing. I still believe that, and I'm hoping that God or whatever will show me how, that there's got to be a way for me to do this kind of work and find some way to get paid for it, because I would love to be able to give a voice
yeah,
for people like you that have causes that are no less important than like the Red Cross or whatever,
yes,
that they're out there on the streets talking to people trying to get things done, but they can't pay $500
yes.
for a logo. They can't do that. And
That's right.
I don't know right now, to be honest with you. I don't know how I'm going to get paid. I have regular clients. I have no idea. I'm just kind of doing this by faith. And I actually took another project on
Yeah.
yesterday, illustrating a book um, for a gentleman. And actually, I go to massage class for, and he's another gentleman. We have nothing in common as far as our lives are concerned. And I just felt like same kind of thing. I was like, oh, you need an illustrator. And he's like, yeah, but I can't afford it. And I'm like, oh, Cassius, oh my goodness. Boy, have you found the person who's probably going
Yeah.
to do this. And so, yeah, I have no idea how to make money. I don't make enough money. I don't have any unemployment. I just have a couple clients. I'm doing the best I can. I have a very patient husband who works very hard and is supporting me kind of through all this.
Yeah.
And so I'm grateful for that. So my vision, like I said, is to give a voice to the voiceless. And there's a lot of voiceless people in this world, and it just breaks my heart. And if this is the one thing I can do, then this is what I'm going to try to do. I don't know how the business side is going to work, but I'm just following my heart at this point. That's the most important thing.
Yeah. I love that. I love that. And I am definitely, I have been since you and I connected, praying
Mhm.
for you
Thank you.
that doors would be open and that you would make the connections to
Mhm.
make the money
Yeah.
that you need to make, not just,
Mhm.
enough to pay your bills, but that you make the money that will make you comfortable
Mhm.
in your life. And I'm still praying that prayer. And I want those who are watching this in the
Mhm.
audience tonight, those who will watch in the replay,
Mhm.
to connect with Carolyn. I'm going to have her give you her contact information before we finish our
Aw,
conversation. But if there's anything she can do to help you bring your brand to life visually, feel free
definitely.
to reach out to her. The I've had several, a couple of people made me logos, made me
Mhm.
graphics and whatever down through the years.
Mhm.
But with a mother's cry, the vision is evolving into a different area. And so the whole mass incarceration, prison reform, justice reform, family liaison thing is,
Mhm.
like the new for like the last year or so. And
Mhm.
when I shared that with you,
Mhm.
um, one of my friends says that you're giving a voice to the voiceless
Yeah.
through your graphics. And it's amazing because God
God
created
created.
us all differently with unique gifts.
Mhm.
And you don't have to be standing in a pulpit to be blessing somebody's life.
Oh,
And
right.
you are doing that through your graphics. So I'm definitely going to be praying and trying to, I'm going to send some people your way that I know that could use your
Mhm.
services as well. But
Yeah.
I just want you to understand how gifted you are and what a blessing you are, because the whole mass incarceration thing is a big deal for me. And so as you and I were talking about it, and when you sent me that graphic, those of
Mhm.
you who have you know that have access to my Mother's Cry page, the cover on the Facebook page and the logo, but I think most the Facebook cover page, if you look, you can see the prison bars inside of the
Of the
graphic.
graph.
And I'm telling you, when you sent that to me, I cried
Oh, really? Wow.
because I said it encompassed every single piece of what I'm trying to do right now. It encompassed where I am right now, where my vision is right now. And you just got it. Like
Right.
I just stared at it for the longest time with tears rolling down my face, like, oh my
And do you
God, she
remember?
got
I
it.
was so
But
nervous. I was so nervous to send it to you because again, I don't wanna understate and I don't know how to not be weird about this. I felt like it was an intrusion for me to make an assumption about what kind of image do you put here? And I thought I was told, Jamie, there's hands through bars, but then it's like, what color hands do I put there? Like, am I gonna put white hands? Because that's
yeah,
not realistic. But I don't know, like, and I felt like I was almost like walking on holy ground in a way, like that was not my place. But I took a chance. That was the one, like my heart said something like this with the light coming down, and I was so pleased that it was what you wanted. And that's going to be the header of the website, by the way, which I'm still working on, and hopefully it can launch that soon here. Um,
mhm,
but just knowing the language and the images
yeah.
that you would want for what you need, um, it's just I'm just going from the heart because I'm not, like I said, because it's been interesting to try to figure out because I'm not where you are and haven't lived the life where you are. And so it was so great to
Mhm.
match that up for you because I was nervous. I was nervous. So I want to be respectful.
Well, you hit it. I mean, you hit it like you hit it right on the head, like with that one thing. We didn't even have to make any changes. I didn't have to say no, let's try this, let's
Mhm.
try that. When she sent me that graphic, it was the prison bars because we're dealing with the mass incarceration and the
Mhm.
light, which was so important because
Yeah.
it's like I'm trying to illuminate this
Mhm.
whole reality for so many of us that
Mhm.
are dealing with loved ones who are incarcerated. And
Mhm.
I didn't even say that to you. And and that putting that light in there, I was like, oh my God, this is like amazing. And so this is why I want to encourage other people that can bring some business to Carolyn. If you don't, it doesn't have to be 100 different things, but
Mm.
I want us to bless her because she's blessing me. Someone
Oh,
said to me before, like, blessing somebody's life is not always about giving them $1
right.
or, giving them food.
Hmm.
Like, you find the need and you meet the need. That's how you bless
Right.
people. And you have
Mm.
absolutely done that for me. And I know that
Oh,
there are other people that you can do that for as well. And so I want to make sure that people reach out to you
mm.
and make that happen. So
Yeah.
as we're going forward in our relationship,
Mhm.
um, and the next thing, as Carolyn said, is getting the website.
Yeah.
I just keep thinking about all of these things that I need to get done. And she asked me, what do you want? What do you need? And very few people ask that question of anybody. Like, we're so busy um, seeing what we need and what we have to have done and so for somebody to stop and say, okay, what is it exactly that you need from me? Um,
Right.
it just, I don't have the words to express how much that blessed me. And I really genuinely appreciate it. So
Oh.
aside from a mother's cry,
Hmm.
aside from a mother's cry, what is something that you're working on, that you have, in motion, that is going to highlight your graphic design business that you want us to be aware of?
Oh, wow. That is a great question. There isn't a lot of things. I mean, I'm doing a lot of I've done a couple other nonprofit like pro bono projects through a website called Catch a Fire. I don't know what kind of charities can be a part of it, but if it's called catchafire.com or .org, and they can go on there and request services, and then people can apply for them and get matched. And so I did do a project for
Okay.
it's a charity called Casa L, and they're in LA, and they do child advocates for foster children. So you can volunteer and go there and
Okay.
be an advocate for a foster child. And it's interesting because my mother-in-law, who is a social worker where I live here, and
Okay.
she's extremely inspiring to me. She actually did some work with them, and she said they were really amazing. So I took that and did some just simple stuff, an event invitation and like an event logo type thing. And that was something that I'm doing, and I hope to do more of those kind of things. They are not paid jobs. Um, but I am just in the beginning of trying to figure out this shift and where to go from here. I know I need to change my website also and change the whole direction of C Nekola Designs, probably so that I can attract these things, because right now it's set up to be more of a traditional design, like I can rebrand your business type thing, and I have packages and stuff, and I can still do that, and I'm still excited, especially with if I can work with small
Okay.
businesses, especially small businesses that have a heart. I've worked for a lot of businesses that don't have that heart that I'm looking for. Uh, so I need to do a lot of work on that end. But like I said, this whole shift came so
Yeah.
radically, and also with going to school full time, I'm like, oh my goodness. So just right now it's all about
Yeah.
the time. And like I said, I'm excited about taking on an illustration project, and this just cropped up
Yeah.
literally yesterday with a fellow student that I go to school with. He's an awesome gentleman, and his name is Cassius, and he wrote a children's book, and he had I think, a illustrator back out on him or something, and he needs it, and so I'm excited to do that and see where that goes. I haven't illustrated something in years, and it's going to be a great tale about making friends and about making friends of different cultures and different types of people.
Yeah.
So I'm really excited about that actually. So maybe he's
Fantastic.
watching that. Yeah. So a
That's
lot of things
awesome.
on the horizon, but everything's like just getting going, if that
Fantastic.
makes
Yeah.
yeah.
And that's, one of the things that I've learned about life, period,
Mhm,
is the changes, the shifts, the detours, the
mhm,
pivots. As one of my friends is constantly saying, that there are times when you have to just stand still, you stop, and you
mhm.
have to just readjust and make changes. And there's nothing
Yeah.
wrong with that. It doesn't mean that you're a failure. It doesn't mean any of that. It's just at different stages on your journey, you have to walk a different way. And that's what's happening with you right now.
That's right.
And a part of that change in
Mhm.
your path included us connecting. And I'm very, very grateful for that. I'm very grateful
Absolutely.
for that. So I'm not going to hold you much longer. I wanted to talk to you for like a half hour or so, then let you go take care of your fur baby because I think that he's trying to get your attention
I'm like, oh my, it's like
also.
having a toddler. It's how
But
it's a toddler
um,
again.
I want to make sure we have your contact
Yeah.
information.
Okay. Well, you can look up at
Absolutely. What is your website?
my website is C Nekola Designs, and here I'm gonna, and it's just, I think if you Google it, I think it comes up. Nekola is Nekola. Um, and that's just my last name. Also, my name, Carolyn Nekola, comes up as well. I have a
Mhm.
portfolio site, so you can start from there. Also, I have a Facebook page. So once you start poking around, you'll start finding my stuff for sure. I've done my best to try to make it findable.
Okay.
But yeah, definitely, if anyone needs
Yeah,
any
because
graphic,
there's nothing worse than trying to find somebody and you can't find them. That's one
exactly.
reason why I'm like glad that we're working on this website because it's like people are always asking me, "What's your website?" And
Uh,
I'm like, I don't have
yeah.
one yet. I'm working on it.
And websites are so
So
tricky.
yeah, I got to do better. And you came, you came into my life to help me do better.
Well, and you help me too. You're helping me too. So big time.
Somebody had.
Yeah.
Thank you. All
Sure.
right.
Thank
What is one thing that you would like to say to our audience
you.
that you like to share with them about your life, about life in general? Any word of encouragement, inspiration, anything you want to share with us before you go?
Um, oh wow. This is what I was saying. I should be prepared for this, but let's see. I'm just gonna go from the gut here. For inspiration, I think so many people are waking up. The world is a mess right now, like a huge mess. Politics, war, everything is a disaster. But I believe I know so many people, and like really, really quick, like I said, I come from, you know, like I said, white privilege America, but so many people that I have grown up with and gone to school with, we're all coming to the same place, which is this place of compassion, this place of new understanding. We're deconstructing our belief systems and our upbringings and looking around us and seeing that the world right now needs our hearts and they need action. And so, you know, there's so, especially people my age, it seems like, yeah, I'm in my
Yes.
40s, and like dozens, I know dozens of women alone who are waking up and saying, I've spent my whole life in in my middle class houses with my family, you know, going to scrapbook parties, and when we should have been out on the streets with signs in our hands or in shelters or doing something with our lives, but that wasn't how we were taught and that wasn't modeled to us, and we are all ready to do this, and our kids are too. My children
Yeah.
are going to be warriors for all of this. My youngest daughter is going to school, and she wants to be an immigration lawyer because she is just sickened by what's
Okay.
going on with families. And so the world is waking up, and so on days you're discouraged, I believe that things are shifting, and I believe that there's a lot in store, a lot of good in the future for all of us. That's what I believe.
Thank you. Thank you. That was powerful. That was powerful and
So,
much needed. Um,
mhm.
so, again, I want to thank you for spending time with me this
Thank
evening.
you.
And I enjoyed our conversation. And we will speak again very soon.
Yes, we'll talk. Bye everyone. Thanks for having me.
Okay. All right. Good night.
Bye
Thank
bye.
you.